Welcome to the session, children. We have already finished this particular chapter, the introduction part of it, and we have also finished with the pre-reading questions. And some of you had some doubts regarding few questions which had two different answer, right? That will be clarified when we go through your textbook. Now I welcome you all back to this session from the diary of AnneFrank, chapter 4. This is a rewinding sort of a revision for you. Okay, so this is the girl AnneFrank, and she is a symbol of resilience and lost innocence in the face of Holocaust. In the introduction, I have already informed you that this girl was just a 13-year-old belonging to a Jewish family, and then what we will understand from the diary actually, that she was a stubborn girl, a girl with lot of desire to express her feelings. But then what happened, I have already informed you in the introduction, that she was never exposed to or with a group of people. There was no chance for her to express her views. Why? Because they were in secret annex. And that is the reason we will come to know this is resilience and lost innocence. What is the meaning of that? See, what does this particular sentence mean? She, as a girl of 13, should possess a sort of certain innocence in her face, expressions, innocence in her thoughts. But what we understand from the diary after reading, going through, even the parent, the father, her father himself feels that she had no innocence. She was a mature girl. She was comprehending things much more than beyond her age. That is the meaning of lost innocence in the face of Holocaust. What is the Holocaust, children? The Nazis and Germany people, they had a war, Second World War, and Jewish people were put in concentration, and most people died. They had no freedom of expression. They had no freedom of living freely outside. And Anne was born in 1929 in Frankfurt, Germany, as the youngest daughter of Jewish family. Hitler and the Nazi party rose to power in 1933. I have not given you the particular dates on that day when I have given you introduction. That is the reason why I am bringing back to you with the dates. And another point why I am writing it in this manner is simple reason. All of us have decided not to give you question and answer format. Hereafter, you will have to find ways and means of preparing notes. Okay, the more number of points you are able to extract from a textbook, the better for you and the better marks you will be scoring. So CBSE, we expect from the students that they are able to do or prepare notes on their own, and we are in 10th standard. So I'm just giving you, all of a sudden I cannot tell you people, because this is a practice we have gone through. I have dictated question and answers, I have made you all learn it, and then straight away I cannot tell you hereafter no notes will be given. If I don't give you notes, I know what you will be doing. You will be searching, because notes are available everywhere in the net. So I am training you how to write or how to take down the points. This is how you will have to prepare points for all the subjects, all the lessons. Okay, children. So we are going through these points. This will be a help for you to understand how to take down notes from the text. I hope you will feel very happy about it. Now, Annie was born in 1929 and she belongs to a Jewish family. Where was she born? In Germany, Frankfurt. As the youngest daughter of a Jewish family, she has an elder sister. Hitler and Nazi party rose to power in 1933. The Frank family moved to Amsterdam. 1940, the Netherlands, so-called Netherlands, the Holland, was invaded by Nazis. The condition of the Jews in Holland was deteriorating. And that is the simple reason why this Annie family had moved to a secret place. And there, if I'm not mistaken, and you remember, they have lived for 2 years inside it. We will be going through. I have prepared for you that also in the points point. Frank family tried to move to US because the condition has become worsened and the religion practice also was not so convenient or free. They were not free to practice their religion openly, and even if anyone comes to know that this particular person is a Jewish person, then they will be automatically grabbed and put in concentration camp, and they will not be knowing where the family is. Okay, children, this was the difficulty they had, and therefore what they were planning, they wanted to move on to some other country where they do not have this problem. But then right now, just like what we are experiencing now, the COVID-19, right? What is happening? Can the people who went abroad return to our country, to their families? If they had done it initially, it is good. But then now at this juncture, no flights for taking people off to other countries or bringing people from other countries to our country. The same thing had happened once the Nazis rule has come. The Nazis invaded. These people, what they have done, they have closed, they have stopped the flight, and there was no way of getting out of that place. See the disaster here, people, children. Later on, her birthday, I have told you the reason for this story is the diary. And when did Annie receive this diary, children? On the 13th birthday. Who has given her this diary? Her father presented her. And did she ever thought that this diary will be read by anyone? No. She least thought that this diary would become so popular. This diary would become approved first-hand information. What is that she has written so important that this diary has become limelight? Okay, has become to a limelight. This diary had certain things mentioned were given so much of importance, children. People, her own father, the friends, really surprised to read this. And this diary comes to limelight only after the death of Annie. Anne really did not she did not know anything about what had happened to her diary because she was dead. So now let us see the historical persecutions repercussions were written in her diary, well defined. It was a bank diary. In it, Anne chronicled her thoughts, feelings, writing about her family, friends, boys, all that a teenager could ever think went through her mind. She has very plainly has written in her diary. She felt at one point that the paper was more concerned, more understanding towards her than the people in and around her. First and foremost, there were limited people. Secondly, what happened? The mother was there, sister was there. Certain things she would not have felt like sharing with them, and therefore she has written down all her feelings into it, and you can understand every emotion that she felt. She shared so openly in the diary. She shared it with the page. She felt she made she had a very rapport, relationship, very close relationship with that page. She developed such type of intimacy with the page, and she was able to fully engross in doing whatever she was feeling. And that is the reason why this diary has become so popular later on. See here, as Anne began her diary, the situation in occupied Netherlands worsened, every day intensified, just like Corona now today. What is happening to us? We are just really hoping that today the problem will be all right, the next month or another 15 days or next week. But then what happened to us? From month of March we are in lockdown, and now already in month of August, almost 6 months we are inside. You remember, I still remember the 18th was the last working day for us, and you students stayed back on 18th. And today, what is the date? 18. So 6 months we have successfully completed without seeing one another. Okay, everything virtual. The same situation happened to this girl, and in the introduction I have told you how many of us are making use of this lockdown. See, children, develop some important skills which will help you enhance your personality to bring you up to fulfill your goal. At times we feel, as a parent, I used to feel if I get some time, I would make my child do this or do that, or I would teach her or him something. Maybe your parents also must have really dreamed about it. So let that dream come true today, because full time you engage in studying, it's well and good, but then extra things you learn also makes. Build a family relationship, relate stories, so that you are going to develop a recitation, a speech. Language skill will be developed. Once you excel in your language skill, you talk freely, you don't hesitate to utter a word, and then you are able to develop your communication skills. Children, remember, you are the best. Now today, the communication playing a very important role in everyone's life. It is very important that one should be able to communicate what one is thinking. Okay, the lack of that creates chaos. So what happened here? Jews were stripped of their rights. Stripped of their rights means even we are now stripped of our rights. What are those rights? Going to the school, I don't say it is a right, but I am saying you cannot come to school. Okay, this is in a simpler way. Just I am giving you one example. That does not mean really exactly what these people have undergone. Just like now Hindu, you are a Hindu, you are a Muslim or a Christian. All of a sudden government is coming up telling no Christian or no Hindu or no Muslim should reach to their devotional places. So that is the meaning here. Jewish people were stripped of their rights. They had no right to speech, no other rights they could exercise at that time. Who was the leader? Hitler, Nazi time, the Second World War. Please remember these things and go back to your social studies. You will be getting beautiful explanation of this situation. Forbidding from attending schools, from shopping malls, from most stores, and taking public transportation, and they were being sent to working camp. See the people? The whole lot of people were taken and they were asked to work in somewhere of their own place. The government is asking them do the work for the government and not their personal work. The people were just taken to the concentration camps. They were made use for different activities, and there most people were not fed, and that's the reason they must have died. Very few people survived, and among them even